Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on the Libra full moon. So this is officially happening March 28th, 2:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But leading up to this energy, we are already feeling it. I was studying the charts to this full moon and wow, it's powerful. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on that we're going to dissect today and look at working with this energy in the highest expression. I've also been receiving downloads about this in the Akashic Records as well. So I'm excited to share these with you today. As you join me, say hello so I can welcome you in. My name is Kara. I'm a master astrologer. I'm also an Akashic Records practitioner. I support spiritual entrepreneurs and light workers in sharing their message with the world, amplifying their impact, and receiving abundantly for their soul's work in the world. So full moons always act as amplifiers. Even days leading up to it, we can feel like our sleep is affected. We can feel like there's a lot of emotions that are coming to the surface. And that's why it is this beautiful time of releasing and letting go, as we are much more attuned during the time of the full moon of what is going on internally, what is going on beneath the surface. So maybe emotions that we've ignored, feelings we've tried to shove down, they're coming to the surface at this time. Not so we get trapped in old patterns, but so we can recognize the patterns that are at play in our life and really be these powerful conscious creators. So at this time, we have at the time of the full moon, the moon is in Libra and it's opposing the sun in Aries. So again, anytime there's a full moon, there's also this opposition that is in effect as well. And right now, this energy of the sun and Venus and Chiron all teaming up in Aries is prime for healing. Lots of deep layers of healing and looking at the self. So we are in Aries season right now, which is actually the beginning of the new astrological year. And this tends to be a time where we feel a boost in energy. We feel momentum building. It is like the energy of a new beginning. And what's really changing the expression of this energy at the time of the full moon is that it's happening next to Venus and Chiron, which makes it really, really interesting. So Aries is all about the self, our level of confidence, our level of self-love, how we show up in the world, and it's about learning to feel really empowered. And what I've come to learn about confidence really is about alignment. When we are in alignment with our higher self, we are in agreement with our higher self, then we feel confident in who we are and what we have to share with the world. The feelings of insecurities and doubts come in when we get too stuck in the ego and the fear mind. So at this time, we're really invited to lean in and deepen that connection to our higher self. I talk a lot about this, strengthening our connection with who we are beyond the stories and limiting beliefs that we have collected while here in this earthly experience. Hello, Emer, so good to have you. I'd love to hear from you as well if you're joining in, what you are releasing in this full moon energy. I will hold that space for you. Remember that full moons are prime time for releasing and letting go of what no longer serves you, and it's also a time of celebration. So if you want to also share what you are celebrating in this energy, that'd be wonderful too. It's always good to celebrate, and celebration really is it opens up the doorways to gratitude, and whatever we are grateful for, we see more of in our life. So full moons offer not only that opportunity to heal and release and let go, but that opportunity to really celebrate all that is going well in our life, all that we've achieved, not even just achieved, although celebrate that, but just who you are and feeling deep levels of gratitude for this life journey. So feel free to share that with me, and I'd love to hold that space, what you are releasing and what you are celebrating. So Aries energy, all about the self. When it is conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, we are healing insecurities that we have carried with us on our journey. So wherever Chiron is in your chart, it's an area where could be pain, hurt, even trauma from early on, past life experiences even, that is actually the key to your growth and healing. So it's like turning our pain into a sense of purpose in our life. So at the time of the full moon, even the energy leading up to it, you may notice some of those old insecurities resurfacing for you. Whatever it is in your life that you feel, no matter how much healing or clearing you're doing, it just keeps coming to the surface. That can really be amplified at this full moon. Again, not to pull you back into old patterns. So you have that awareness of the patterns that are at play in your life, and you can heal and release and fully be able to move forward. Because Chiron is the key. If you look at it in the astrological charts, it's even like, it's like shaped like a little key. It's the key to our healing and growth. So in this energy, it can be helpful to really reflect on, what is that thing for you? What is that insecurity? What is that doubt and fear that continues to creep up in your life that you're ready to let go of, and you know you must let go of that fear and insecurity in order to move forward into your next level. Now, I also feel it's important to say we do not have to be like perfectly healed in our life or spend so much time and energy thinking that we're broken and we have to heal before we can have the life or business we want. It's not about that at all. It's really not. We don't want to get stuck in that cycle either. But what this full moon is offering us is that opportunity to have that awareness so we can fully step into our power. And where we bring in this idea of truly learning to love and deepen that relationship with yourself is Venus. We have not only Chiron exactly conjunct the sun, we have Venus there. So the sun, Chiron, and Venus all together in Aries. And Venus is our relationship, and in Aries, it's about the relationship with ourself. So deepening that connection to yourself, and what can really help with this is practicing forgiveness. It's like we live with ourselves, so we know everything we feel we failed at, everything we regret, we can carry the shame and guilt with us, right? And it really weighs us down. And this full moon is that invitation to let it go. Let go of the baggage. Forgive yourself. When we learn to forgive ourselves, we can more easily forgive others as well. So there's that strong element of healing, forgiveness, and releasing at this time. Hello, Petra. So good to have you here. Emer is releasing my resistance around being visible and promoting my work. Time to come out of my cave. Yes, it is, Emer. I'm holding that space for you. And this energy is perfect for that, right? That Aries energy is about taking up space, being in your power. Chiron there is, what insecurities do you have around doing that? And how can you love yourself through it? Love yourself through the healing journey. Be patient with yourself, really learning to stand in your power. So I know we're talking a lot about this Aries energy, even though the full moon's in Libra. We're going to jump over and look at that. But it's really important to create the context around which this full moon is occurring. And it's being opposed by this energy, right? This Aries energy. So opposite this Aries energy is the moon in Libra. And Libra energy is all about creating harmony, balance, and peace in our life. And where Aries is all about the relationship with ourselves, Libra is our relationship with other people. So once again, we're seeing relationships really come into the spotlight at this time. And when I was feeling into the records of like, okay, how are all these energies working together? How is this coming out? I kept feeling this reminder that relationships in our life are such a powerful reflection of what is going on internally. And in our relationships, we can reenact our insecurities, our trauma, or we can see them as this opportunity to heal, right? And with Libra, it's looking at where in our life we may be falling into codependency in our relationships. So this sense of, in order for me to feel good, in order for me to feel safe, I need you to show up in a certain way, or I need you to act a certain way. And we can get into this co-dynamic in our romantic partnerships. It can show up in our friendships, even connections with our colleagues, where we think how we feel emotionally is dependent on someone else. That's that energy, right? And Libra asks us to really address that and to look at where that's showing up in our relationships. And it's really powerful when we begin to see relationships in our life as mirrors, mirroring back to like what's going on internally, right? Usually if we have an insecurity or fear, the relationships that we enter will reveal that to us. So again, really keep in mind, these things are coming to the surface not to keep you stuck in old patterns, but to help you facilitate that healing so you can fully move forward. So in looking at healing your relationships with others, let me know if anyone here has heard of the Ho'oponopono blessing, the I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, which I think is just so powerful. Let me know if anyone else is familiar with that here. Hello, Johanna. You're a Libra moon, I love it. So it's your lunar return too. Really, really powerful. So using this powerful blessing, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. That is like, bring this into this full moon energy, bring that into your ritual. And it can be amazing at what you are able to release, that forgiveness not only of other people, but that forgiveness of yourself as well. And bringing that forgiveness in is just so powerful. It really does set us free. Because anytime we allow other people to upset us, to make us angry, we are giving them our control, right? We are giving them our power. We are saying that something outside of us gets to determine how we feel, when that just should never be the case. We get to be the creators of our life. So when we're able to, take that power back and look at where in our life we're getting triggered, we're getting angry, or maybe we're even holding on to trauma in the past. Like, absolutely, people can do wrong things, right? And that can really be a range of what can happen there in terms of breaking boundaries and trust or agreements. But we also deserve to be free from that. We don't want to hold on to that. All that does is weigh us down, and then it gets into our energy, and we're not this clear channel for being able to magnetize and attract what we desire if we're holding all that pain and hurt and resentment toward others. So again, this full moon, beautiful opportunity to let go of that baggage, to forgive yourself and others, to just set them free. Set them free and set yourself free from holding on to that resentment within you. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for that beautiful message, and happy full moon. Well, officially the full moon on the 28th, so we're kind of building up to that energy still. Okay, so I have my chart behind me here. So far we've really just focused on this energy, the Aries energy, which is being strong and confident in yourself. Remember, confidence is all about alignment. Are you in alignment and agreement with your higher self? Are you seeing yourself the way God sees you, the way your higher self sees you? If you can get an agreement with that, so many things will shift in your world. And then looking at this full moon Libra energy of relationships, healing relationships, creating that peace and harmony in your life. So there's some other things going on here too. So the moon is forming a powerful trine with Mars and the North Node, which are currently conjunct in the sign of Gemini. So how I'm feeling this being experienced is there's a lot of ideas that are at play right now. There's a lot of perhaps even controversy that we're feeling in our world right now that's stemming from diverse opinions and perspectives. And with the Mars energy, things can get heated, right? Mars is like drive. Some people see Mars as aggression. I more see it as like our life force energy, our drive, our ambition, our motivation. This energy though, and what I feel coming in through the Akashic records around this as well, is we can see a range of ideas right now that can give the impression that there's a division happening, or people being really worked up and passionate, perhaps even triggered when somebody has an idea that's different from theirs. And what I would invite you to feel into in these energies is, can I love someone even if they have a different opinion than me? Can I love someone even if I don't really like them? And what I mean by that is maybe like our human self says, this person triggers me, I don't like who they are, but can we love them still? Knowing that from the level of source, we are all connected. We are all on this journey together. And as I say this doesn't mean we don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean we have to agree with them or even have them in our world, in our space, but can we still love them? And I feel that's what this full moon in Libra at the core is like, yes, we can have diverse opinions and perspectives in this world, and we can still create this energy of peace and harmony, right? So that's something really strongly to feel into. because I know and I've even talked about this with some of my clients, this energy of even feeling when they're sharing their opinions or perspectives that they're being attacked for it. And I think there's just kind of a lot of tension in the collective energy right now, right? A lot of tension. So use this full moon not to get pulled into the tension, but to really look at, can I come back to this space of love for self, love for others, even when we see things differently. Because Mars conjunct the North Node in Gemini is about keeping that open mind, being curious, being open and willing to see things through a new lens, a new perspective. And it reminds us of the power of like keeping that curiosity of a child, of being open to asking questions and being curious, right? Without judgment. Putting the judgment aside, our ego creates judgments. And I'm not saying that we can't still feel very strongly about certain things, right? We all have our own path. We get to align with that. And at the same time, we can release the judgment and hatred and return to creating this peace and harmony, which the Libra moon at the core really wants, a feeling of peace and harmony and connection with the people in our life and the people around us. Let me know how this is resonating. I see we have some new people jumping in. Feel free to say hello and share with me, what are you releasing and letting go of in this full moon energy? This beautiful Libra full moon. Okay, so let me feel into what else is going on here. So another powerful aspect I see at play here is Mercury conjunct Neptune. So Mercury is the communication planet and Neptune is all about ascension and transcendence. So when we have Mercury and Neptune coming together in Pisces, this is a beautiful energy for creativity. This is a beautiful energy for receiving divine downloads. It's not the best energy for finding clarity and having things feel like, okay, I can fit them into a little box. I understand this now, but really good for expanding our imagination, for dreaming big, for being open to new creative ideas and divine downloads that can drop in for you with this energy. So I feel that's really, really powerful too. If we can work with it in the highest expression, that is always the key with the Piscean energy and Neptunian energy, is we don't want to approach it too much from like that analytical mind. We want to surrender and feel with our heart when it comes to Neptune and Piscean energy for sure. So keeping that in mind, to be open to possibly receiving messages in your dreams, be open to how your intuition is speaking to you at this time. And yeah, there can be a lot that comes through around that. Now we have that energy, and at the same time we have this grand air trine that's happening. We've got all the air signs teaming up in this grand air trine. So again, this reinforces that there's going to be new ideas dropping in, and perhaps for you in your life, it's like an integration of the ideas. I often talk about this on my trainings and stuff. It's knowing something is one thing, right? Like we can have information, we can know something from an intellectual standpoint, but when we truly embody and integrate it, that's when we feel the shifts. So this energy can be really good for like integrating, putting the pieces of the puzzle together is what I'm really feeling around this. And there's also, to even add more to this, there's a kite formation happening that's pointing to all this Aries energy that we talked about at the start. So the Aries Sun and Venus and Chiron, which is that healing of the self, the forgiveness of the self, the stepping into your power confidently, taking up space, allowing yourself to shine. All of that energy is like at the peak of this kite formation. So how I see this all coming together at the core, and I believe that's what I titled this video, is the healing your relationship with yourself, the healing of your relationship with other people, so you can set yourself free and you can move forward. This full moon offers deep levels of healing, deep levels of insight into the subconscious, and invites you to keep that open mind and that open heart. All right, let me know how that's resonating for you. So if you want to go further with this, if you're like, I am enjoying astrology, you love the way I explain astrology, you want to dive more deeply into your chart, as we move into April, I am taking on some new one-on-one clients in private mentorship. So often in this space, what I do is support spiritual entrepreneurs in growing and expanding their business in a way that's aligned with their birth chart and with their unique Akashic records. So creating a plan for expansion that's based on your divine soul blueprint. So if that sounds intriguing for you and you would like to know more about that, send me a message right here on Facebook and we can chat about one-on-one mentoring. And thank you so much for joining me today for this. This was really powerful to feel the energies and insights that were streaming in around this full moon. If you enjoyed this, I invite you to share this out to your community as well. If you think there's someone there who could benefit from this information and benefit from learning more about how to manifest with this full moon energy in the highest expression. And yeah, I'm just sending so much love to you all. Thank you so much for joining me and have an incredible weekend. Bye for now.